Hi all, my name is Martin and welcome to Excel Makers. Today I will show you how to display multiple data sources in one pivot table. So let's get down to business. Before we start, let's take a look on data we have today. As you can see, we have a workbook with 4 sheets: quarter 1, quarter 2, easy and medium. In quarter 1 sheet, you can find the sales data for multinational company for first 3 periods of the year. Yeah, you can see period 1, 2 and 3 with the detail for salesperson, product, region, currency or quarter. In quarter 2 sheet, we have similar table and only difference is that these data are for the period 4 and period 5. We can name it as quarter 2 data. Easy and medium sheet is actually blank and will be used later in the task. If you want to work together with me, you can find the file with task and also the solved file in the first comment below this video. So today I would like to show you how to display two data sources into one table. More specifically, I would like to show you how to display this data for quarter 1 together with data for quarter 2 into one table. We will show two methods, easy and let's say medium. Let's take a look on easy method. I copy the data for quarter 1 and copy it to sheet easy. I can paste values, it is not problem. And now I take quarter 2 and take the values without header and paste it below the values from quarter 1. For this method you need to have data at same structure or at least in similar structure, and it is important to have at least one column which differs you the data, in our case from quarter 1 and quarter 2. If you watch my previous videos, now you already know how to create a pivot table from this. I just click somewhere in the data, click insert, pivot table. You can see that the table or range is already selected, and now we can select the location, existing worksheet and cell K3. When I click OK, and in pivot table fields I can move city to rows, sales to values and quarter to columns. I can also format the values. If you remember, it can be done in values field. Just when you click value field settings, and in value field setting you can click on number format and select the desired format. Yeah, and we can also align quarters into the middle. The issue with the first option, or if you want easy option, is that you need to create a totally new table to display both sources into one table. But there is also option how to keep original sources and with the same goal to display it in one table. For this purpose you can use relationship functions. This relationships function you can find in data tab, and here you can see relationships. To use relationships function, we need to define common column for both data sources. And in our case, it could be the column city, because this column is in both tables and it is in the same structure in both tables. Besides this, we need to also create master table, and this master table will contain only unique values, our defined common column. So in our case, it will be the column city with unique values. So for now, we can close this manage relationships dialog window and we can go to quarter 1. From quarter 1, we can copy all values from column city and we can paste it to medium sheet. From quarter 1, I copied all values, but for master table we need only unique values. So how to get unique values from these rows? When I click anywhere in the data, or maybe I can select all data from row 1 to row 13, click data, and here you can find function remove duplicates. Yeah, you can find it on the tab data and it is next to the relationships function. So when I click remove duplicates, you can see that automatically selected column A, and I can also check my data has headers because my data has headers. When I check this and click OK, you can see now I have only 5 rows. In first row is header and only 4 rows with the values. To use this data in relationships function, we need to also format this data as a table. If you watch my previous videos, you already know how to do it. So when I click anywhere in the data, click insert and table. Here we have dialog window for creation of table. You can see that automatically selected the range for this table, and we can check my table has headers. When I click OK, my data is formatted as a table. When we have formatted table, we can also rename it. When I click to the table and table design, I can name it as master table, just for good identification. Please be aware when you want to do relationships between tables or between data sources, all these data sources has to be formatted as a table. So I know that Q1 and also Q2 are from default formatted as a table, so this won't be a problem. When we are sure that all of our data sources are formatted as table, we can start with the creation of relationships. If you remember, just click on data, relationships, and now in this dialog window we can create it. When I click new, in this dialog window I need to select the tables with data, so I can select Q1, common column, which is city, and related table will be always master table, and the related column is of course city. So when I click OK, the first relationship is already created, and it is the relationship between Q1, column city, and the master table, column city. The same we can do also for Q2. So again click new, table is Q2, column city, related table master table, and related column also city. So click again OK. Yeah, and this is the desired status, to have two relationships between Q1 and master table based on column city, and between Q2 table, master table, also based on column city. Now, when we have created relationships, the last step is ahead of us, is just to create pivot table. So I can close this menu, and I can also move to medium sheet, click to master table, click insert, pivot table. You can see that master table is automatically selected. As location, I can use existing worksheet, so C3 is fine. And now please be aware, here is the function we haven't used before. And this function calls add this data to the data model. And for this case, we can use it. So check it please and click OK. Now we can see that we have similar dialog window as in previous cases. Here we have some dialog window for creation of pivot table, and we have also pivot table fields. What is the difference is that below pivot table fields we have tab active or all. When I click all, you can see that we have three tables here. And normally we have just the fields from one table here, but now we have three tables with all the fields. And how to create pivot table which display two data sources. What I have to do is to select from master table column city, because this column is common also for Q1 and also for Q2. So I selected city, and for Q1 I would like to see the sales. We have a new column with sum of sales. I can rename it as Q1, also align it to the middle. And from Q2 column, I can select also sales and move it to values. And also rename it as Q2. And also align it to the middle. So you can see with using relationships, we created the same table as in the first option. The difference is, while in the first option we had to create new table, in the second option we didn't create anything new. We keep original sources and just created some relationships which instruct the table how to deal with the data. Today we demonstrated two options how to display two data sources into one table. First option is quite easy, but it requires you to create new data source. The second option is more advanced, but the advantage is that original data sources are kept. Maybe you wonder what happened if you have more than one column in common. For example, you have two common columns or three common columns, and you have more data sources than two. And I have bad news for you. In this case, you need to create relationships for practically for all options, for all columns, for the all data sources, and it is quite problematic when you have several sources. Maybe you heard about Power Query, and Power Query is definitely the tool which enables you to do it much more simpler than these relationships. Let's say these relationships are kind of basics, and it is good for understanding how to do some operational, not just in one data source, but between data sources. And as this is very important topic, you can expect this in more detail in next videos. That's it for today. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to Excel Makers for more tutorials. Thanks for watching and see you next time.